So, going to be going into that final 10 seconds of this second half. Have a look at that road, because this is going to be interesting. Last time we did see 3 or 4 players from Team GC head straight down the mid and try and surprise the enemy team. It didn't quite work out, and we're seeing a complete contrast here from Fnatic, who are going to be going all the way around. They're going for a long one as they're going to be heading in towards that B side. This is going to be a bloodbath. Let's jump in with Jika here, as he's actually going to be the first to fall, courtesy of Valutage's Ace 23. The nice hexes to respond, as well as Freddy picks up a double. It's going to be complete mayhem at the moment. Hunter for GC is going to be coming around the back, and this could be exactly what they need onto Fnatic. Gets one, he knows it's going to be another one. Valutage is going to be kicking himself as the bullets hit him in the backside. As now, GC have started as they mean to go on. I told you this might just happen, but we'll see how effective Fnatic are at retaking these sites. Not just great, as Mort does fall as well. This could be the one, as Unfixed is still present. He's going to take down Hunter, looking for a second as well. Going to be bobbing back and forth. Fnatic, these are the retake kings. If you can ever hold a site, test it against Fnatic, and the answer to the question is a big fat no, as that B site is going to be captured over, courtesy of 4 Fnatic players. Alu, what's your plan here? Managing to take down that C flag. And at what cost? It hasn't actually really cost him anything. Teammates didn't have to come to help him. Go in solo, and that's caused a very early and very dangerous trip cap. Tickets are going to be leveled out, though, courtesy of the nice retake on A. But that has forced them, it's kind of stuck them in the bleed. B and C going to mean the tickets are falling away from them. Every second that ticks away is going to be a tough one. Off near squad wipe on towards GC. In fact, it is a full squad wipe. Fnatic not losing a player to do just that. And, I mean, with a BC hold and wiping the squad, these tickets are going to start falling away. Keep your eye on that top left. You can see GC's number is going to get infinitely smaller. But for how long? Suddenly they all do spawn, courtesy of that random respawn onto C. They're going to kind of respond in force on towards this B flag. And I really want to see what Fredo can do. Absolutely nothing. Trunks is there again, AEK in hand. And really going to need to win these 1v1s. They're doing a pretty good job of it at the moment. Hunter with the Magnum. With the Illuminati scope, the little triangle. Oh, and Hunter, the problem that at the moment they're caught in this horrible Fnatic trap where they've just got this horrible wall. Look at this line of red. There's just a line of Fnatic players, and anyone from the GC side that tries to question it, tries to push in, lands a tag. Let's see that Fredo, as great as that is, you're not going to get past that. If you get past one line of defense, this is currently too easy. Straight away, oh, you've met too easy, that's fine. We've already got a player behind you, it's Trunks. I really like the way they're playing this. I really like it. Magnum work there from Drunks, as he's kind of this mobile spawn beacon for Fnatic, applying this constant pressure to the GC side. Obviously, bear in mind, guys, the 50-ticket lead Fnatic are currently sat on. So, as big as that 89 may look, it's actually, you know, more like 37. So, take 50 away from the US score, and you'll see how well this first map is going for GC. Fnatic are just in control. And right now, Unfixed is getting heavily tagged up. He's actually going to play it safe. And I mean, even when they have leads like this, they're looking pretty chill. Don't forget, though, you cannot forget GC beat these guys 2-0 last time they met. So anything for Fnatic is an increase, but this is Fnatic's map. GC beat them on it last time. It doesn't look like we're going to see a repeat of history, but we may very well see a much more challenging GC as we move on to map 2, which will of course be Lancang. That was GC's selection. A map we're actually seeing an incredible lot more than we did in the previous season. Whether that's the change to the guns, whether that's just teams changing their preference, I couldn't tell you. But regardless, Ace 23 at the top of the gun food chain nonetheless. Lauren, actually, I was talking to Pansy earlier, and she was saying, you know, that CZ is strong, and she doesn't quite think that enough teams and enough players are actually implementing it. It's kind of that FAMAS replacement that we've seen kind of fall into flavor. Right now, Ace 23 reigning supreme. Look at this kill feed filling up with Fnatic frags. And we have very few tickets remaining now for Team GC. They're on 63. 50 is that threshold. As soon as we hit that 49, we're going to see that first map going in favor of Fnatic. There's very little GC can do here. Look at that number. 9 tickets remaining, 106 in the Fnatic bank. It's not looking great, but if it was going to look great, right now, all they need to do is hold on to this A and B. All they need to do is just somehow set up that kind of a mirror of the Fnatic wall, a wall of blue, and I don't think it's going to happen just yet. But if they do, they need to hold on to this B flag. Jika is there, as is Fredo. They need to work their way onto this site as fast as humanly possible. Fredo is sprinting. He knows how important holding onto this B flag is. It's already changing hands. Fnatic so very close to securing it. Drunks does go down, though. It's going to be changing yet again. 56 is the number. 50 is, of course, the threshold from that last game. And Fnatic are battling tooth and nail to bring this game to an end. But GC are not going down quietly. 3 tickets remain. 93 in the Fnatic bank. And we are going to be seeing this game end on that 50 mark. One more to go. There it is. It's 49. It's the GGs. And that was, I mean, a fantastic showing from Team Fnatic. And a sip of water later, we can see the scoreboard for that game. 12-10, 14-7. Actually really nice work from Fnatic. No one from Team GC reaching the double figures. So that's not great for them. They're not going to be too happy with that. But that proves the theory I had about, you know, being 1v1s. Fnatic, the superior players, perhaps, but I mean, GC, they work so very well when they do work. They can be hit and miss. This time they missed. We're going into Lancang Dam, and they may bring that kind of that scary team. I know that teams I've spoken to, they talk about playing against GC, and they say it's like Infamous when FAMASs were enabled. Infamous were the scary team back when in the season where you could use the FAMAS. And they just got up in your grill, got up in your face, and were really good at kind of applying pressure and running with it. Very momentum-based team. GC are similar, and obviously I think maybe it has something to do with them being French. It's just that kind of French play style that we see translate into actually quite a lot of games. It's interesting how that kind of relates. But regardless, Lancang Dam is going to be map number 2. First map going in favor of Fnatic. Fnatic trying to maybe kind of completely turn on its head the previous result from this game, which we saw GC winning 2-0. I believe it was on Dawnbreaker as well. That's what really surprised me, was because I know Fnatic can be so kind of deadly on Dawnbreaker, and seeing GC in Cup number 2 knock out Fnatic on that very map was it was a sight for sore eyes. But right now, let's see what GC can bring. Countdown has begun. 50 seconds on that clock, and we'll see what we think is going to be coming up. I do like to kind of see if I can kind of orchestrate some sort of strategy. I think we're going to, yet as always, this is a map where we do see a real bloodbath on B. It's that map where if they don't get to B immediately, they're going to be doing this slow play to C. I've seen it work before. I know that it has a lot of potential, because if you do get AC, that forces these random respawns back here and back here. And once you start spawning in this kind of far distant area, they get into those high vantage points. It can be really tough to kind of stop the bleed of tickets. In this 15-second mark, we can see the spawns they're going for. It's interesting. I think maybe we're going to see Unfixed rushing up into that A building and across. But regardless, 5 seconds on that clock. We'll see where they are setting their sights and hopes on. And it starts. First half of the second map. We'll see what GC can do. How can they answer such a firm and, you know, honest victory from Fnatic in that first half? They need to show their strength, and it's going to be it. Look at that, 4 players on the outside. They're all charging in. Zero at the helm, throwing nades in towards that central area. He goes down immediately, and this B flag is going to be a real tough cookie to crack, as straight away Fnatic fly their flag on B. Drunks darting in. He knows he's actually got to kind of, hasn't got time for, oh, regen. The prediction was fantastic. Couldn't quite bring it into fruition, but that's a great start for Fnatic. They got their AB hold, and Drunks is so hungry for that kill, it costs him his life. Let's see what Hunter's got for us. Weaving bobbing, hanging out the outside. He knows it's kind of a death box. As soon as you walk into that deadly B square, you are putting your life on the line. That spot's not going to be enough to give Hunter the positioning he needs to take him down. As his teammate Fredo is there. Look at this, only one ticket lost so far for Fnatic. 130 already. Losing are already 20 for GC, and this is that kind of problem that they can have, is trying to work a side that Fnatic already have hold of. It's almost a repeat of Dawnbreaker. They're managing to do it right now though, as Zia, the prone king, just lying on the floor, and that's enough to bring that site under GC control. It's already cost them about 20 tickets. Let's see if they can take Fnatic down a notch. They need to slow Fnatic. They need to pick up the momentum themselves, and this is exactly the way to do it. But I don't think leaving Zia as the only man inside B is the wisest of choices. We'll see Zia getting a nade out, trying to stay alive, but his whereabouts are known. And finally, we're seeing squad members starting to spawn on him. Getting the revive, as that was a very short-lived squad member. 132 to 125. Now we're seeing a little bit of a comeback from GC here. Fnatic sat quite happily on 127, leveling the player field though by securing this B in this early mid game. Fnatic always start strong, but when you can see teams like GC come straight back and respond. Hey, talking of respond, hello Fredo. He's not trying to disguise his movements. He's not trying to cover the sound. That's because he knows that Fnatic are going to be so very worried about B. This could be good if he doesn't fluff the shot. He has completely messed it up. Finally, he gets it, takes down Unfixed, and that's going to open up this A site for a capture. Can they trade it? Can they get this AC hold? It's not going to be that easy, as Unfixed is way back. He knows that this is going to be a problem. Dives down the stairs, and this is not great. Fredo's thrown this possibility away. Oh, great play from Unfixed. Seeing the very kind of millimeter of head that was being shown. And that's all you need sometimes. You see, now we're going to see Zia and the entirety of GC swarming on towards A. They've managed to bring it down eventually, but the delaying tactics from Unfixed were so good. One player from Fnatic has managed to keep 3 or 4 players away for it was about 20 seconds when they could have captured A, but his movement, his positioning, and the backup from his team was enough, and we may very well be seeing a trip cap here. Mort. Oof, well, I was going to say, this is a man I've seen who's, every time I've spec'd him, he hasn't done well. But he's on the scores he has, so credit to him. But I just don't want to curse this man any more than I already have. Oh, Jika. Missing a pretty set-up shot, but that doesn't stop him being already 8 for 3. The man is a monster at the moment. And so are GC. Holding on to this AB hold. They're kind of making B their base at the moment without actually being there, as they've been forced to go and respond to the question marks around that A and C. Too easy has become the Zia of Fnatic now. Look, we can see him hanging out, holding that site alone. It's all he needs to do though. He doesn't necessarily need to get the kills. He can act as that mobile spawn beacon and just roam. Roaming around, and that's exactly what he's done. Look at the positioning from him. He should have been a double. Jika, a little too quick on that snap A, manages to respond. And talking of response, that is the best way Fnatic could have responded to the trip cap of GC with one of their own. Hunter trying to stop it, trying to stave the bleed, try and get a bandage on it fast, and he does struggle. He's under some scrutiny, going down eventually to Unfixed with the AEK. And Fredo, see if he can succeed where he failed last time. He's going to be securing A unquestioned this time. Unfixed isn't there. He knows Unfixed is busy at B. And it's going to secure that C flag. C, excuse me, A. But with this AB hold, actually, Fnatic need to respond quickly. I mean, that is a tough one, especially when you start forcing respawns. We see only 2 members currently alive from Fnatic. Not quite that squad wipe that they're kind of desperate for. If GC can get a squad wipe, if they can knock Fnatic down, force them to that distant respawn, this could very well be a good first half for GC. But this is a little too neck and neck for my liking. I know that GC need this map to kind of, well, we all know GC need this map to continue in this cup. And here in the semi-final, they've been in the grand final last time, they've got a taste for it, and they know that they have the ability to beat Fnatic. They want to be the giant killers, and Fnatic are kind of a bit scared of this David and Goliath scenario. they will not be taken down. 71-71 now. Level playing field yet again, but it's not so level as currently the Russian side, otherwise known as Fnatic, are leading with that AC hold. Trunks has been so cautious here, watches his teammate fall. Can he avenge him? Answer to that is no. Does go down again to Hexis. Hexis has been pretty quiet. We should give the man some airtime as Valutarja is going to try and take him down. Isn't going to succeed as Xia and Hexis, this kind of duo in B, have been a real trouble for Fnatic. It's really impressive to see how individual players can make an entire team struggle for a site. This time, talking of individual players, Xia is behind enemy lines. 3 or 4 members make it just 3 as Valutarja does fall. This time to the ACW, a bit of an interesting weapon choice from Xia. I always do like to kind of point out when you do see something astray from the meta, perhaps, with the ACW. About 3 or 4 rifles we do see a lot of. And we'll see Xia's actually making it work, taking down Drunks, so kind of a bit of a payback there. A and B still, though, under control, and this is where the tickets are going to start slipping away. Too Easy, well aware of that fact, knows he's got to do something on B, and he's doing his very best, getting as many nades out. He doesn't want to be pushed, he knows the possibility is very nigh. Let's have a look on that map. We'll see who's going to be kind of challenging him. Right now, actually, it looks like they're kind of being very flexible. Right now, GC, as flexible as they have been in the past. This is a whole new team GC. They know that they can't quite secure B. They're like, okay, fine. You throw 4 or 5 players. Fnatic have basically committed all their resources to taking B. They bounce back and secure that C flag. So the double bleed continues. A and C actually looking for B as well. I don't believe it's worked out this well for GC right now. They've got that trip cap. This is the second in the game for them, and this could very well be the first nail in the Fnatic coffin for the second map. Hunter does go down. He'd already took one with him though. Credit to him for that one. And we are seeing that B site looking in trouble. Xia's the only man standing up to that one. It was a real brawl, and it wasn't clean. But Xia, managing to stand, managing to get the revives, is going to keep that B site under control. It's really actually impressive to see the way they're playing this, using revives and squad spawners to the very best that they can. And right now, Fnatic, they're trying every angle. I mean, look at them. They're charging from every possibility on that road, trying to find a way in. And when you throw 4 or 5 Fnatic players at a site, you may very well get it. But what's it going to cost you? What is it going to cost you? And the question is Hexis, is he needed there? I feel that this man should maybe already be making a move towards that A flag. He's sitting at C, camping C, and that's not what you need to be doing when there's so little tickets in it. At GC, they only have to force 20 tickets out of Fnatic to secure this first half. In the first half of Dawnbreaker, Fnatic finished with 50 tickets. If GC can finish anywhere near that, this could very well go into that third map, which of course will be Paracel Storm. Hexis gonna try pushing in towards this B site, and it's worth a push. They know that if they can stop this B flag, Fnatic have, I mean, how long have Fnatic held B? It's been such a short period of time. They really are very temperamental with their holds. Something I was saying about Fnatic earlier on Dawnbreaker, I was saying, you know, once they get a site, it can be really tough for any team to take it away from them. And I'm just eating my words yet again, because right now, every time Fnatic secure B, there's something. GC have something to answer. We can see that 10 tickets ticking away, 39 tickets in the hands of GC. This is looking to go only one way, and now GC are going to be trying to get it as fast as possible. They do not want their advantage to slip away anymore, and with a BC hold, and look at that, 4 spawns holding being held by Fnatic. They're just trying to get it as low as possible, and I think that's going to be a big, fat 39 question mark. Is it going to be any lower? I think it's going to be around that 38 mark, but that is a fantastic start from GC on Lancang Dam. It's their map, and they're showing us quite why they chose to play this map up against the Fnatic Giants. Last man standing is of course unfixed. See if he can bring that ticket number any lower. He cannot. It's going to be 36 to remember in favor of GC in this Lancang Dam. Map number 2 up against Fnatic here in the semi-finals. Why? There we go. Why did we need to see that? Look at the scoreboard while we can. Honestly, Trunks was the man with the points. He was constantly on B. Every time I cut to him, the man was proning behind something, trying to capture that B flag. Mort was in the same boat, but he didn't quite pick up as many frags over the entirety of the game. and dying a staggering 11 just beneath Too Easy, who holds the death record with 15 deaths, in contrast to the highest number on the GC side with only 10. So, I mean, that says enough. That says enough to me about what was going on in that game. I mean, GC were playing out of their minds. Really, really good to see the confidence, perhaps, of knowing that they've done it before and they're planning to do it again. Great first half, though. We're going to be going into the second one immediately, and I need to see exactly what Fnatic can do in response to that. I can only assume that their push is going to be, let's get B and actually hold it this time, because they've been really struggling. They've been not even struggling. They've been weak. They have been weak at holding B on Lancang Dam, and it's strange. It's a very contrast to the first map we saw, where all they could do was just hold B and keep it safe for as long as they wanted. And we'll see where this takes them in the second half. The area on your screens now is something I want to highlight, though, is something I want to say is that, you know, GC were very kind of stationary. When they were defending, they were all inside. We've seen other teams who kind of like to set this perimeter outside and kind of deal with the problem before they even get in the building. I think that's something Fnatic do quite a lot of, but this time, all they did was Fnatic were caught in the cold. They couldn't get into the building. Every time they tried to leave these outside areas, the safety of outside B, they just got shut down. And we'll see. I'll make sure I highlight that when it does become an issue. We'll see whether or not GC are going to be forced into the same scenario. Still, 10 seconds on that counter. Make it 5. We'll see where they are going to go. Make sure we can see the players. No engineer class is worth highlighting. Obviously, there's not that much of a need for it here on Lancang. And we'll have a look at that tabletop, see where these players are going to meet. We're going to see that 4-for-1 split push. It's going to be 3 players, actually, from the Russian side. Let's jump in. We can see GC are actually sending 1 player straight up to that C flag. Look at this. Actually, no, he's changed his mind. It was Fredo. He's opting to go to B because they've already got the capture. Fnatic have fallen immediately. Fnatic, they tried to prove themselves, tried to get in on B early, and despite sending more players than GC, they've come out poorly, actually. Unfixed acting as that beacon, getting his teammates back in as backup, and here it comes. Zia, the defensive player, getting some nice pre-fire through the wall. Wasn't enough to secure that site now, and we can see there's a real swarm of players around this B flag. No one yet to kind of fly their flag on it. It's going to be Fnatic eventually, as they had to send the entire team. A nice late push from Fnatic is going to have cost them, though. They've already lost those 12 tickets in contrast to just the 3 for GC. And when they're already 36 tickets up, any tickets is good tickets right now for GC. Wow, great work from Too Easy. Very clinical, takes down 2. And Valitaja is there as that backup. This is that teamwork that we know Fnatic so very well for. But we are back to that level playing field. And talking to level playing field, that is a trip cap. Couldn't be any less level, and that's that random respawn that I know that teams fear. That is such a long way to even start considering contesting a site. Fredo, the Lone Ranger right now, is single-handedly trying his best to kind of change the flag at A. And is he running away? No, he's actually opting to go up the ladder, try and have the element of surprise. He knows that they're not going to be expecting this, but he has to move quickly. He has to try and catch someone off guard. He's got just enough vision through that glass to perhaps stop this A flag from being defended, but look at this positioning. Oh, and that is smart play from Too Easy. He's got the brain on him this one, as that is going to be the A flag secure, and the bleed is going to be brutal now for GC. Look at Zia. You don't see many players sitting here, and it's not by choice. He knows he's completely pinned, pressured, and he's going to try and find the slowest and best route on towards any flag that Fnatic are going to give them. And this, my friends, is a very split-up GC. I'm just highlighting how spread out these poor players are. There's no real purpose for them. Fredo is going to try and do the same again, but it didn't work out for him last time. And I'm interested to see if it can work out this time. Or are they going to leave it? They're going to say, no, we're close to B as well. Let's give B a time. Jika is the man to bring down the B defense, but he's straight up back to A. Maybe trying to kind of dummy it out a bit, try and leave it to the defenders of C. It's going to be Hexus actually to try and take down B. But look at this defensive work from Too Easy. Well, look at it as he does get taken down by Hexus. He was doing a great job in the past. But 85 to 133, this is a different Fnatic playstyle. Or, yeah, it is. I mean, they got the early trip cap and they held on to it. Something quite rare, especially on Lancang, as it's a map that's quite close together. You do have these outside areas and those distant spawns, but the actual sites are relatively close-knit, and that usually means that those trip caps are short-lived, but not the case at the moment. 82 to 125. It's a B&C hold now. GC did the damage control, but it cost them dearly. I mean, that is 40 tickets in favor of Fnatic. That outweighs the 36 that GC bringing in from the first half. 81 to 120. 36 to play with on top of that 81, though, from the first half. 110 to... So it's pretty level, actually, really. Tickets are pretty much level if you take into account the first half score. Really not seeing much from anyone other than Unfix for Team Fnatic. The guy's on 8 for 1. He's just been doing all this work on the outside area. Everything that he does right now is in favor of holding B. Right now, he's sitting on the outside area. I was talking about this before we started. I was saying, you know, don't want to see Fnatic get caught out in the cold again. They don't want to see them caught in this outside area and not be let in. And Hunter is about to be the bodyguard. He's going to sit there. He's going to say no. Or is he? Look at this, taking his time. Thought he would have pushed around this corner by now. If I know him, he's going to be doing it just now. He's revealed his location. That's going to be a time to retreat, and that's smart play. Not going to overcommit to the kill. He doesn't need to. And right now, after such a very strong start from Fnatic, they're going to try and spread it out and give up on B, perhaps. Fredo doing what he does best, splitting out towards that A flag. And in the meantime, Fnatic trying to secure that BC hold. It's a bloodbath on B. Valutaja, can he get the double? He doesn't need to. Drunks is there as well. As, they're going to be securing his B flag, but it's a long time coming. And 78 to 93. Take away the first half, though, and Fnatic are actually at a deficit. Albeit a small one, 10 or so tickets, but still 36 was the score for the first half in favor of GC. And map number 2 here of the semi-finals ESL One Battlefield. It's cup number 3 as well. They've gone quickly. It feels like only... it feels like only yesterday. It was only last week, but it feels like only yesterday we was casting the first cup. Cup number 2, sorry. Regardless, 90 to 60. Not looking too fantastic for Team Fnatic. They wanted this. They started so great. They really started with that early B hold, which was kind of unheard of. Well, early B and C and A. I mean, it was a trip cap, but they held on to B for the longest, and it's really interesting to see how GC are answering it. They were very spread out, and as soon as the tickets start going in GC's favor, they get in this deadly kind of pack. They fight in packs. They're like hyenas. GC, the French hyenas, charging through. Oh, it does pick up one of the ACW. Zia is making this weapon work. You see the nades start flying in towards him, trying to find him. B flag is under contention yet again. Zia is still alive, but the Fnatic side are surely going to be stacking up in numbers. Here they come. Fnatic, Mort and Valutaja backing up, coming across from that C flag. But see what Jika can do to defend. Absolutely nothing. Valutaja aim just a little too superior as Hunter is going to be on the run. Knows he's just got to sit there. As long as he is alive, this B flag will not change hands. 78 to 53. Finally, he does go down, and Mort's going to be trying to raise that Fnatic flag as high and as fast as possible. The BC hold is now in full swing, but you have to remember that that number is getting dangerously low to 36 for Fnatic. It could go either way, though. GC. Lower Fnatic beneath 36. If you see that number go to 35, then we're going to be seeing a third map. But Fnatic just want to wrap it up in a 2-0, trying to kind of mirror that cup number 2, where GC did just that to them. And I know if I was Fnatic, and I mean, there's been some talk, there's been some chatter that, oh yeah, Fnatic, you know, they're not what they're not what they used to be. They haven't been practicing, they haven't been putting in the time, and it's reflecting in their gameplay. And you know, perhaps that there is some truth in that. But right now, GC are playing well. Fnatic are playing as just, I mean, equally, if not better in these short bursts, but as a team, as a constant, GC remain very, very strong. 30 to 74, though. It's getting a bit of a worrying moment for GC, especially where this B hold is lasting a bit longer than I expected. I thought Hexus would have dealt with it by now. He's finally going to be charging in, throwing the nade in to follow, as he's just going to hit that prone key. He knows that it's more of a hiding game. It's hide and seek in B, and look at that. As soon as he hits that crouch, he does go down. B remains in GC hands. And we'll see how long that lasts. They need to keep hold of this B site now. If they let any site slip away, then Fnatic could very well take this. On 67, it needs to fall another 30 tickets for GC to see that third map. 25, so currently 25 to 30. It's back and forth, and that's the trip cap. GC, how have they pulled it out? They got the squad wipe they needed, and they've managed to bring it down to a full trip cap and a squad wipe. I mean, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. That's what you need when things are getting a bit, when you're cutting things a bit fine, cutting things a bit close. I mean, 25 to 50 now, cut that down, take 36 away, and look how close this game is going. GC turning this game on its head every single time they need to, bringing it when it matters. Let's see what Drunks can do in response to that. He's going to surely get caught out before he even gets to a building. He's already been tagged. He's going to try and duck his head in. But they are just hemorrhaging tickets. Look how low they go. 39, make it 38. They're falling away. 2 more tickets and we're going to see GC, very, very happy French team, as they're going to see 35. That's the one. That's the magic number. GC take it to a third map. We're going to be seeing Paracel Storm. And Fnatic, they were hoping for that clean sweep. They were hoping. Now begging that they can kind of return it, go for that 2-0, really kind of rub it in GC's face and say, yeah, look, we practiced this time, look how easy it was. But no, GC making Fnatic work hard for this victory. And, I mean, GC, they're taking it into Paracel Storm. This is a map I couldn't call it. I knew Dawnbreaker was Fnatic's, I knew GC, they can rock it on Lancang here on Paracel. It's up in the air. I know you guys in chat, you kind of saying that no matter what, this is going to go Fnatic's way eventually, whether it's not until the offline events. But right now, this is what matters. This is all that matters. And GC fighting to win this cup and get that better seeding for later in the ESL One Battlefield 4. But right now, they're putting a lot of priority. Oh, get it right. There we go. Fnatic against GC on the left of your screens. Of course, Fnatic, a meat grinder, if I need to reiterate one more time, is of course unfixed. So don't forget that, because I mean, unless, you know, Fnatic picked up a brand new player known only as Meat Grinder 1337. I think unfixed is a better name. Maybe you should stick to that. But regardless, we're going on to Paracel Storm. Not the first time we've seen it here this evening. We saw it earlier in the MYM Epsilon game. I believe MYM came out on top of that one in the first half with Epsilon. Not going to make that mistake, don't worry, guys. With Epsilon actually eventually taking it. But I mean, it's a map that I think we're going to see a lot more of with these changes with this patch. And in general, just with teams, it seems to be favoured. It's very much favoured by teams with that kind of buzzing B player. I know it's a horrible expression. I'll think of something better. Maybe you guys can help me. You know, like Horek, players like that who are really good at taking sites on their own. These kind of man mode solo SMGs, most likely. On a map like this, I think we are going to see some SMGs. Let's jump in and see. Have a look. We've got Jika, and I can't quite see the classes yet. Still waiting on some spawns. But we do see at least one engineer class. Let's go to Jika just so we can see what his early Levolution plans are. He's got this straight away. Look at that. Boom. Trying to open up that B site as much as possible. Going to get another one out. This is how you open up B. And straight away, in quick response from that, they're going to be swarming towards this A site. And look at this. Unfixed with one for Fnatic. Too easy alongside it as well. And the nades, it's a dangerous place to be in the trenches. Look at that. Complete bloodshed. A is now flying the Fnatic flag. And to see if Fredo can catch them off guard on this C. Heading off there. Let's see who's going to try and catch him. It's going to surely be... Oh, it was going to be unfixed. I think Drunks has got the spawn that's going to favour defending C. He's got the Magnum in hand. I think he must only be expecting one, but there is two, courtesy of that squad spawn. See what on earth they can do in answer to this. Drunks is going to try and hit the prone key, wait for that spawn to come in from his teammates. It's Fredo up against Drunks, and we do see Fnatic coming out on top of that one. They're going to take that C flag back as quickly as they possibly can, as well as maybe this B flag. This is going to be a real disaster if GC slip away early. If Fnatic can get an early lead, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to fight back here on map number 3. Nice work from Hexis. Took his time to get that headshot. He didn't want to kind of risk seeing Valutage slip away, make the call to his teammates. Straight away, though, they are going to be bringing C back under their control, but at the cost of B. Zia on that B site, charging through the overgrowth. Ooh, very swift. Mort caught mid-air. Not going to be holding that site from upstairs this time. 120 to 140. GC at that immediate disadvantage. It's that early Fnatic lead that we see so often. It's usually 20, 30 tickets, and then for something that Fnatic do means that GC can start kind of bringing it back. Hunter hanging out in B, knows that if they can keep hold of this site, they can keep hold of B, they've got that easy route to both A and C. They've got that kind of easy back and forth. It's where you want to be spawning, in that middle area. If you're forced out to the beach, you're forced out on either of these beaches, as nice as it may be for a holiday destination. Well, this isn't a really a holiday destination. We can see the weather is pretty glum. But, yeah, as much as they can get their toes in the sand, it's not where you want to be spawning. Too Easy coming around the back of Jika is going to open up this C flag as Too Easy hits the deck. Trying to land the hipfire into Hexus. He did so very close. I don't think he managed to do it. No, he did fall just before making the C site his own. But the price they pay is going to be that BA hold. They let it fall away. And this maybe is a little bit of greed, is it? GC, they had that BA hold, that had that kind of holding just A and B, and it's all you need. It's all you need. If you can keep that perimeter, keep B and A under your control, that C flag, they can let 5 enemies hang out there. It's not a problem. This time, the kills are heavily in favor of Fnatic on that US side. They have 21 to only 11 from GC. Tickets don't quite reflect that, only 20 ticket deficit in this first half. Fredo failing to take it down just yet. Finally, the hipfire paid off, but Mort took him down as payment. And we are seeing a trip cap now for Fnatic. And this is that split. This is the spread out GC we saw in that second half of Lancang. We see this spread out nasty GC spot where they can't quite get out of it. They need time to kind of adapt and respond. And I think maybe it's communication, maybe it's something else. But right now, Fnatic are actually in trouble. Look at this straight away return. B and C under control. As I was questioning GC's ability to retake sites, they've done exactly that. Taking that B, taking the A, taking the C, sorry, and that is fantastic work from the GC side. Too Easy looking to change just that though. Look, it's got a different, it's got a look in his eye that says this B site is mine. Setting himself up like a little turret, trying to evolve the environment around him to suit his defensive needs. Nade coming out, it's going to make him completely leave and abandon that idea. As now A and B are under Fnatic control. Trying to dive in the building as best he can. As the tickets are starting to slip away from GC. They are battling back, though. They are on that A flag. Courtesy of Fredo. He is the kind of roaming player that I was talking about earlier. AC hold. It's not a bad one. We saw Fnatic actually previously. In previous cups, they can get caught in B. They can kind of leave it. They'd be sat there. Something we saw in the first game with Epsilon. They were kind of too happy just sitting at B. Lasting a bit too long. In kind of thought, it makes sense. It's Too Easy is setting up his little trailer home. Just gonna sit there, wait for Fredo to make his move. And if Fredo pulled the trigger right now, he would take Too Easy down. He's playing the waiting game, and it didn't quite pay off. Actually, he's gonna get caught out. Too Easy, too quick to push. Unfortunately, there's some backup from the GC side. They're gonna be battling it out. It's actually gonna be a bit of a brawl here. Drunks is here to respond. Fnatic not gonna give A without a fight. Hipfire of 1, looking for the second as well. Drunks is battling with the AEK, and if ever there was a player to fear in the trenches, it would be Drunks. Doesn't miss up the close quarters that often, and look at him go, darting around, picks up his second, and ensures that that A site is going to be changing to blue. 92 to 61. GC watching it slip away from them here. And Hunter finally has woken up. He's like, okay, so I'm seeing 3-4 spots over on that A flag. Let's get a wiggle on and get to that middle central B flag. Squad spawning in on him. He's going to be doing a great job in securing that one. And who is there to question it? It's going to be Too Easy. He's charging in. He gets one. He knows there's going to be plenty more where that came from, as he's going to try and find the second. Hunter has other plans, though. And that's going to be a very nice securing of B. It's going to cost them that C flag again, though. That's something that Valutaja has been perfect at. I can't just credit Valutaja. Something that Fnatic have been perfect at is this kind of flexibility. Here again, just hanging out at C. They know, oh, okay, we've got 3-4 numbers coming towards us on C. As soon as they play, I'm assuming a player makes a call. Valutaja in this instance would say, no, C is lost. and immediately the people that were coming to aid him immediately move on to the opposite site. This is going to see if we can see it in action here. As right now, A and B are under GC control. Not going to be too short-lived as they do manage to defend Mort's assault, but Drunks has got the same look in his eye. He knows he wants to push on towards the central area. He's going to get caught. Not caught to go down, though, as Zia just really couldn't connect with on towards Drunks, and that's going to enable him to charge towards this beach area. Takes a second as well. The AEK so swift when in these really close quarters environments. It can be so tough to out-hip fire the AEK. 72-44 now in this first half of the third map. We'll see what these teams, how badly these teams want to be in that grand final. Fredo in a battle with the Devil. The Devil, of course, is Drunks right now as he gets another one. Really, really strong play from the individual Fnatic player, but right now, B and C are under Gamers Connection control. We'll see what Jick has got for us. He hasn't moved in a while. He doesn't need to, because that position enables him to call the cross and also get the spot on the players coming from that A flag. Also acting as a spawn beacon for his team. Well, that squad spawn advantage. As we have another little look at the kills, as everything hits a bit of a quiet pace. We do see for 52-40, but 38 kills for Team GC, in contrast to over 46 for Team Fnatic. Doesn't really reflect it in the tickets, though. Very level at the moment, and if GC can keep it anywhere close with this BC hold, it's going to be beautiful going into that second half. Almost a full fresh start. Obviously, any sort of ticket advantage that they do successfully take, either team will transfer into the second half and be taken away from the enemy tickets. 42-36, these teams are so evenly matched on this map. It's really interesting, you know, you saw Lancang Dam, that was all GC. That was their map, and it kind of showed in their gameplay, it showed in their, well, it showed in their victory, of course. And the same for Dawnbreaker and Fnatic. But here, on Paracel Storm, both players, both teams, everyone is so evenly matched. Look at that, 34-35. Those tickets could not be closer, and it's really interesting to see what's going to be the determining factor. What is going to secure either team this first half victory? As we do see Drunks looking to pick up A again. This is going to be a dangerous scenario for GC. Are they going to let a trip cap happen in this very, very important time? I was saying what's going to be the determining factor. Well, it's all going to fall on towards Zia and this beach assault. You see 3 players now spawning in. They need to take down B, and that's a good start from Fredo. Takes down one of the defensive players on B, but there's going to be more, and they need to take down this B flag now. Hunter knows it. They know that if they don't take B now, this is going to be the advantage to Fnatic. Squad revive is a key element as well. He's going to be diving over. They're trying to take B. They need to keep hold of A as well in the process, though. Fnatic trying to hold on to A while responding to this B threat. Here they come. You see Mort now right next to the enemy team. He's got to try and land the hip fire. He's going to do just that. Takes down Exus. He knows there's more. His pistol knows there's more as well, but he's only got 3 bullets in the magazine. He goes down as well. It's really going to be neck and neck here. 26-13. And that B flag is flying the GC flag, but for how long? 3-4 players from Fnatic all charging in towards this B flag. They're looking to take C as well, but Hex is just a little too strong. He's going to give up on the revive. He's not got time for that. He needs to help out on B. I don't know how well this is going to go. 20-10. Any advantage, any ticket advantage going into that second half of the third map is just going to be so key to achieving victory here. And look at the aim. Managed to take down Hexus. Unfixed. Remaining supreme in terms of frags, but look at these tickets. 15-5. GC, they're going to let it slip away from them. Fnatic, it's going to be a small one, no matter how this game goes now, but whatever that advantage is going to be, it's going to be so key. 9-4. GC need to hold off on those respawns. It's all on Fredo. Jump to him. You can see he's roaming around. If he can take this flag away from them, then might be able to bring it any lower. He's not. It's going to be 9 tickets. That is one hell. That's the closest game we've had this evening. Put that number in Fnatic's box. 9 for Fnatic in this first half. What a brawl that map was. Look at these kills. These are the highest numbers we've seen this evening, indeed. And all on Fnatic's side. So that shows GC, they weren't in the same... I mean, Lancang Dam, they were high on the scoreboard. But here, not necessarily fragging, but they are flagging. They were bringing those flags up for their team, and just, I mean, knocking Fnatic that far down to only 9-ticket advantage. That's fantastic work from them, showing that team play, showing that they really can play games other than fragging. I was saying on Lancang Dam, like GC, they get up in your grill, they get the kills, but here they're doing. This was a different side of them. They were showing that they can capture the flags, rotate effectively, and play a bit more of a passive game, perhaps. I mean, Jika, when we were highlighting him, he was just sitting there, sitting right at the back around that B flag, acting as that kind of dynamic spawn beacon. And it was perfect. It really well executed by GC. Fnatic, though, credit to them. They managed to come out victorious at that one. It's a small victory, but it's a victory nonetheless, and it's going to be that little bit of a push perhaps they need to secure this victory in this third map here in the semi-final. Victor of this goes on to meet Team Epsilon in the grand final, obviously battling for their slice of €500. Not bad for a one-night cup. Obviously, if you're watching this and thinking, "Whoa, I could do this. I want €500," or 30,000 in the offline finals it was last season. Sign your team up. It's something that we can do. Here at ESL, it's a great platform for the average sick gamer. If you're thinking you could beat Jika, oh, Valutaja, who's he? Well, go and prove yourself. But right now, these are some of the high-tier teams. Really, really impressive to watch them go neck and neck, and it's going to be really impressive to see the victor of this go on against Epsilon. Epsilon with a convincing victory up against MYM in the other semi-final, and so it's going to be interesting to see how that game goes. But let's not talk like this one is anywhere near from over. This is, of course, the second half now, the determining factor of who is going to be going on to that grand final. And let's have a little look at that tabletop, see what they've got for us today. Starting strong, obviously picking up that C flag. They spawned right next to it, but if the question is if they can secure A, this is going to be a fantastic start for GC. Taking a lot of frags with them as well, taking down a lot of Fnatic members. Surely not a trip cup. I just saw a blue. I did. Jika, he's rotated around. He's taken that B flag, snatched it out of Fnatic's hands early, and that is really not going to be great. And I think I can see a Storm rolling in here. Going to be pathetic fallacy, resembling how they feel this is going for Fnatic. They've lost that trip cup initially, but they're going to finally be flexible enough to pick up that C flag. But I don't think that's going to bother them too much. GC are going to be happy with this start. Can they defend against Valutaja, though? Opening up the site. He's already taken down Hunter. And they've got to try and keep this site safe for as long as they possibly can. They've got to start as strongly as Fnatic have the potential to do so. They did it in the first half. If they can get a repeat, they have to lead a bit more convincingly than they did last time. Of course, that 9-ticket advantage to Fnatic, if that becomes a factor, if it gets that close, if it gets that down to the wire, I'm going to be getting very excited. And my vocal cords may snap. But regardless, this is, I mean, it's just incredibly fast-paced from both sides. Very non-passive. I'm sure there's a better word for that, but my brain is just farting. Non-passive. Very aggressive. There we go. I got there. I got there eventually. Very aggressive play from both teams at the moment. 141 to 120. Great start from GC. Foregoing only 10 tickets and managing to keep hold of this A and B. But look, you can see Fnatic at the drawing board. There's a big pile of them coming in. Too Easy is at the front of him. He's going to be dropping that medipack, playing for the region. He knows that every hit, every point of HP can be crucial to winning the 1v1s, and that's something they do so very well, so much of the time. There comes the surprise. He was hanging out. Fredo played the waiting game perfectly and managed to bring yet another Fnatic player down to size. Mort falling as well. Hexis, the man behind that one. B and C are looking great for now for GC. This is the longest I think we've seen that BC hold, or sorry, the AB hold, in a long time on this map. Very usually we'll see the A site questioned a lot more than it has been. We see a long walk ahead of Unfixed, as I think we're going to see him push all the way towards that A flag. That shows the pressure that right now GC are flexing their muscles on this B flag. See if Jika can successfully stave off this assault. Took his time. Drunks did fall finally, and look at this. I mean, this guy, he's got his marathon shoes on. He's gone for a huge long run over all the way to that A flag. Finally going to get there, and I mean, it may be worth the wait as well, it's certainly not going to be. Look at this. Hexes, he caught on early straight away. Okay, they're going to push A. Let's just go dance over to C. They're going to pick up a BC hold, and the bleed continues. Fnatic hemorrhaging tickets. They're clutching onto those 9 tickets from the first half, as it may very well be necessary to try and stop GC winning this one. 136 to 73. Looking that convincing for Fnatic. Right now they've charged, they've thrown a lot of resources towards that C flag, and it's going to fall onto the shoulders of Hexis. I don't believe it. It's going to be a 1v2. If he can pick this one up, he can maybe secure it. Fortunately, Jicka and Fredo finally spawned in on him. He's going to pick up a triple. He did, and his teammate Hunter took him down as well. But that was all they needed. They just threw as many respawns as they could at the time towards that A flag, and the team that recently took C spawned in just in time to save that A flag. Fnatic have set their sights on B though. 57 to 133. GC, maybe they were just warming up, because right now these guys are unstoppable. Too Easy agrees as he does full yet again. That kill feed is all blue right now, picking up the kills on towards Fnatic. And I mean, 34 to 19. It's complete mirror image as of how it went previously. Fnatic were previously in the driving seat. Right now, GC dictating the way this game is going. And Unfixed, cautious to reveal his location too much. He's bobbing and weaving, doesn't want to stay too stationary, and rightfully so, because right now we do see Fnatic making a push for A. But they know, Valutage is well aware that last time this happened, the GC side pushed towards C, and lo and behold, it's Jicka this time, straight on towards C, knows there's not going to be any defensive players there. They know Fnatic wouldn't risk it. They know that they wouldn't push towards that B site without a good 3 or 4 players. And so that knowledge is enough to secure him that C flag. Can they keep hold of B though? That's the one that's going to be the determining factor of this bleed. But with such a heavy, I mean, the damage is done. 37 tickets for Fnatic. Add 9 to that, of course, from the first half. But with the number so small from the first half, GC don't have anything to worry about right now. They have BC. They just got to keep those sites secure. They can give Fnatic A. That's not the spawn they're worried about. Unfixed is gonna, I mean, he's still there. This guy's was there when we left him. He's still going to be bobbing around. He's got that positioning where he enables him to worry about A as well as B. But it's quite limited. It's actually forced him to push all the way down to the site in order to maintain A for his team. And of course, with Unfixed presence kind of leaving, that's going to open up the B site to be nice and free. Well, for how long is the question, actually. Too Easy's managed to make his way over there. I think he spawned off Unfixed just before Unfixed went to damage control A. And now, with only 15 tickets remaining, GC are going to be so happy right now. I mean, they've got big smiles on their faces. They fought so hard on all 3 maps, and suddenly, I don't know what has happened in the Fnatic side or what's happened on the GC side of things, but this has been what should have been such a close second half. I was expecting this to go tooth and nail, back and forth. We're seeing GC run away with it. They're just sprinting away from the Fnatic side, and maybe it's endurance, you know, perhaps it's stamina. Right now, the Fnatic reached their limit. They're like, okay, this is enough for us. But GC, they're just getting started. They're going to be trying to keep this momentum going into that grand final. And Fnatic, they have an AC hold, and if they want even a chance of taking this game and progressing into that grand final, they need to hold on to this A and C hold. I mean, it's killing right now. It's hunting for the GC side. Every kill they get on a Fnatic member, as soon as he hits that respawn key, we're going to see that ticket number get lower and lower. Seeing they're holding onto their respawns now. You can see just Drunks and Meat Grinder, otherwise known as Unfixed, still hanging out, respawning when they need to. Drunks is on that B flag though. They're looking to try and push this for a trip cap, and this could be GC getting lazy, thinking it's over when it may not just be over, as we do see that trip cap. Surely there's going to be an answer now from the GC side. Almost a full squad. It is. It's a squad wipe and a trip cap for Fnatic, and these guys, the old dogs, have a bite in them yet. They're still coming out with this. And this, why didn't this happen, you know, 20 tickets ago, 30 tickets ago? It just looks so unlikely they'll be able to battle this one off. You obviously add that 9. They're on about 20 tickets, 70 versus 20. I know that that's not a particularly great odds, but I mean, with this trip cap, with very little to answer, they only just secured that A flag. That's going to stop the bleed slightly, or at least slow it down, stave off the impending doom, unless they can, of course, push on towards this B flag. It's going to be pretty tough. It's a tall order right now, as I don't know how Fnatic are doing just this, but that number is getting infinitely smaller, and very, very quickly. 60 now, 80, of course, for Fnatic. 80? 8 plus 9. Such a tough game for Fnatic. Finally, GC have managed to bring this back under control, secure that B flag, and we're going to watch those remaining tickets trickle away now for Fnatic. Valutaja, this is really his last-ditch effort. If he can get onto A, if he can stop this nasty bleed, but I mean, 4 players, look at them, 4 players now already holding on to their respawns. This is game for Fnatic, and they know it. We're going to see exactly what GC have got in store for us going into that grand final. What a fantastic display from Team Gamer Connection. And so, second semi-final down. It's been a pleasure, guys. Really smart play from Team GC. I really liked seeing the way that they fought for that. That was battle. They really wanted that one. They're going to be going to the grand final now, up against the victors of the second semi that we did, which was of course Epsilon. So Epsilon up against GC is going to be your next game. Obviously, I think and of course the players are going to need a little bit of a break after that battle they really fought for. GC probably going to want to take a little time out, maybe have like a slice of orange, you know, in this half. And I mean, that's the second time now Fnatic have been knocked out in the semi-finals by a team that they should or have in the past beaten. So that is that's an interesting one. GC playing fantastically. Really excited to see them play up against Epsilon, another team that we of course know the potential of, and I'm sure you guys are excited to see that one. I of course am Machine, and I'll be right back after this break.